Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with the U.S. Championships for Call of Duty Ghost. Welcome to the Pizza Hut pregame show. I'm Chris Puckett, joined alongside by Scott Lacier, better known as Gandhi. And Scott, we have one hell of a weekend in store for all of the Call of Duty fans tuning in from around the world.
I am pumped, Chris. We already saw the Australian regionals, we saw the European, but this is all about the United States regional event. We will crown our 8 teams representing the U.S. at the end of today, but we got to get there first. This is awesome.
Absolutely. We have 16 teams entering the venue today. Only 8 of them will secure spots at the World Championships at the end of March to compete for the $1 million prize pool.
Just bonkers.
A lot on the line for
money,
these players, to say the least. But Scott, let's take a minute to get to know our teams. Let's take a look at all of the squads competing here today. Complexity and Caliber at the top of the list at 1 and 2. These are the 2 teams that have been featured in both LAN finals here in America for Call of Duty Ghost. And if you keep going a little bit down that list, we're going to see some really popular names.
Yeah, right off there, the 4th seed, we have Team Envious. And then, last but certainly not least, at the 5th seed, Optic Gaming. And if all goes according to plan...
Do we have Optic fans in the venue right here? I think we have a few Optic fans. If you're an Optic Gaming fan, make some noise for me.
Well, in case you guys haven't seen the bracket, if all goes according to plan, Envy will be playing Optic. And the winner of that gets their bid into the World Championships.
Does anyone want to see that match? Come on, Full Sail. Let's wake up here this morning. That's what I like to hear. It's only noon here in Florida. And the fans, they're going to get rowdy as this day continues. Scott, lots of teams to look out for. Of course, Envy, Optic, Curse Las Vegas, the former world champions, FaZe, and then, of course, we have our 9 through 16 teams who are all looking for upsets. That's strictly business all the way down to Final Boss. And let's take a look at who our first round matchups will be between. At the very top, Complexity and Final Boss. That is the first match of the day here on the main stage. And going through this bracket, Scott, who are you most excited to see?
Well, I got to tell you, the Strictly Business vs. FaZe is one of the biggest round 1 matchups possible, which is going to be happening on the B station right here at the exact same time. But if you go a little bit down here, right into the middle, you have Xfinity versus Team Envy. Now, Xfinity, Mud Dog was the coach of Xfinity, or of Envy, and now he's actually going against him. So this round 1 is going to be really big for him to show, you know what, not only was I a coach, but now I can beat you, you know?
It's going to be very interesting there. And then all the way at the bottom, Adversity is one of those squads I'm looking to pull off some upsets later today. They face off against Team Caliber in the very first round.
You're going with some upsets for ADV?
Not quite yet, but I think in the losers bracket we'll see that happen. But let's talk a little bit about the favorites that we think are guaranteed to spot at World Champs if they play anything like they have at MLG Columbus and UMG Philly.
Yeah, well, the number 1 team here is going to be Complexity. Complexity, since acquiring Karma, has not dropped a single blitz on LAN.
Not a single blitz game.
That means they could never be 3-0. This team is very dominant. They've won 8 out of the last 9 LAN events. This team looks very, very good going into it. And then on the second side, we have Team Caliber. Team Caliber really kind of spicing things up there, grabbing a free agent in Formal who came from Halo. And, you know, they're a second-place team. They just had Clayster, and now they have Formal. So it's going to be interesting to see how these 2 teams do.
So Caliber's going to be a team to watch. And, of course, you can't count out Curse Las Vegas. They're currently warming up. Curse Las Vegas has 3 of the 4 world champions for Black Ops 2 returning to this roster now underneath the Curse Las Vegas brand. Other top contenders to look out for, we talked about FaZe. I think Team Justice is going to be a team to look out for. They're coming in with the 6th seed. Not necessarily going to be any upsets technically, but not everyone gives this squad the credit they deserve. I'm looking for some big games out of them. And Curse New York and Strictly Business, 2 other squads I'm looking out for.
Yeah, SB is a very, very good team online. Like I said earlier, Sensor has really become the team captain of the squad. They're very methodical with their approach, but there's some times where they get into it with each other. But it's online, it happens, everyone gets mad about it. But now there's LAN, there's no excuses, and there's a lot on the line. So I'm expecting SB to do well. But the team in the matchup, another matchup I'm looking forward to is Justice versus Curse New York. I mean, that is a big round 1 matchup. The winner of that basically goes up against Curse Las Vegas, so we may have a Curse family feud match there in round 2.
It could be some exciting stuff going on there between the Curse boys. Let's talk storylines real quick. Biggest storylines of the tournament. I think I'm looking for a Complexity versus Curse Las Vegas Grand Finals, hopefully. I know that Karma wants to prove that he's better than his former squad, Farico Impact, now Curse Las Vegas. And I know Farico Impact, the Curse Las Vegas crew, looking to prove that Karma made a poor decision leaving them in the first place.
Yeah, I think Curse Las Vegas has a lot to prove. I mean, especially if you guys have been watching Curse Las Vegas, it's kind of on like an emotional roller coaster every single day. It really depends, but it's a tournament. As we know, Killa always shows up to events. So does the whole Curse Las Vegas squad. I'm expecting them to still make it out here, but they do have a very tough road, and I think a Complexity versus Curse Las Vegas would be cool, but I would much rather see Complexity versus TK, personally.
He's got TK going all the way. We'll see if your predictions come true, Scott. And we got a lot of matches to get
We
to.
do.
So producers calling for it. Let's show you what is coming on the main stage today. Of course, we're going to be kicking off the day with Complexity versus Final Boss. This is your winner's bracket round 1. Followed by Optic Gaming versus Denial West. That's coming up in about an hour for all of you Optic fans. And then it's going to get serious with Winners Round 2. You win here in Winners 2, you go to the World Championship. We'll feature all 4 of those Winners 2 matches here on the main stage, and we'll close out the night with 2 Losers Round 2, where we'll see 2 more teams secure their spot at the World Champs.
So basically, long story short, we will know the 8 teams today, at the end of the day, who's representing the United States, and that alone is super exciting.
And for everyone out there who thinks we're just running one stream out here, you are dead wrong. Of course, you have Gandhi and I live on the Alpha stream, but at the same time, we have our Bravo stream up and running. That is going to be cast by Golden Boy and Brycey to start the day. And later in the evening, Benson is arriving from the UK as he will fill out our caster lineup. Let's go ahead and show you the matches on that Bravo stream. Strictly Business and FaZe. Number 8 and FaZe going up against number 9. You can't get closer when it comes to seeds in round 1. And the match you talked about will be immediately following it. Envy versus Xfinity, formerly known as TVA. The boys in blue going up against their former coach.
2 really, really big matches. The FaZe versus Strictly Business is going to have a lot of people on their feet. It doesn't get much closer than that. I know FaZe is gunning for it, but SB, they are super confident. They actually, Sensor looked at me and he said, I don't care who we play round 1. I know we're winning.
Feeling good about it. We're going to see some losers rounds as well. You need to win that to stay alive in the tournament. And then you get your second chance in losers round 2, your final opportunity to secure a spot at World Champs. Some big matches on the line there. So that's going to basically give you the schedule for the day. We're just going to run match after match. No stopping, no breaks. We're going to keep it rolling as quickly as we can. Scott, you said you're going TK for this tournament?
Yeah, I'm going with Team Caliber on this one.
I got Complexity with the repeat, but there are so many possible upsets that we could see later today. We have our first opportunity to see the first upset of the day coming up right after this as Final Boss, the former Halo champions, are taking on the number 1 team in the world, Complexity.